Somebody say it with me, okay? Assimilation for the simulation. Assimilation for the simulation. And that's what I think about when I see all this Group 7 stuff coming across my timeline. I saw the Group 7 thing, and when I listened to what the lady was saying about, told a whole story about all these different groups, and if this one showed up on your For You page, you are in Group 7. My mind immediately said bullshit. My mind immediately said bullshit. Y'all people who happen to be still around from back before this TikTok platform got started, back before all the monetization got started, y'all who used to walk with me and used to walk with other true spiritual leaders, right? Y'all remember there was a different type of spiritual teaching. It was true, it was authentic, it was soul crushing and soul chastising, because that is what true spiritual alchemy is, right? Right now, I scroll through TikTok for entertainment purposes only. I don't take none of it for face value, because what I realized back then, back when I was being censored and like fighting for my life, fighting to get my message out there to the true divine sparks, right? That needed to actually do the spiritual work and break down the ego, right? That whole spiritual alchemy process is going from ego to true soul. Nobody's teaching that now. And what I realized is the same algorithm that's assimilating y'all now for the simulation was that same algorithm that clocked all the true teachers, silenced us, censored us, and then slowly removed us off of the platform, and then put their version of spirituality out to the masses, because it's sheep that get assimilated. You do not see, when you see those monks and they literally start going through their spiritual enlightenment process, where their higher self is breaking them down and rebuilding them, because you truly have to become a new creation. Your whole DNA, everything has to change. Your mindset has to change. When you see them going through that process, you don't see them doing it in groups. You don't see them going up a mountain, leaving their villages and going up mountains in groups. You see them going by themselves, because it takes a certain level of isolation for your spirit, your soul to actually speak, for your spirit to actually speak to you, for true soul transformation. A lot of people on here, they sit and they just scroll and scroll and scroll, and they get all these little dopamine hits of a version of spirituality. It's not true spirituality, because it's not chastising. Everybody wants to be told that they're doing great. You're doing great. You're a chosen one. I done already broke that shit down. I broke that shit down back in 2017, that the chosen one doctrine was literally created by the demiurge. By the demiurge. They actually have a group of people that they consider chosen ones. And what that chosen one doctrine does is it speaks to the ego. It's an ego trap. It speaks to the ego, because everybody want to feel special. Everybody want to feel unique. But when everybody is a chosen one, don't you realize nobody a chosen one? That's a version of spirituality. It is not true spirituality. It is not what it really takes. And I'm here to tell you, as one of the original teachers that taught the true spiritual alchemy, I don't see hardly nobody on TikTok. I don't hardly see nobody on TikTok teaching what's real. It is a watered down, ear tickling, ego stroking version of spirituality. And if they're, by chance, if a real teacher does get on there, you know what they do? When you make a post, they give you a violation, they censor you, because they don't want you to teach the people the real stuff. They want you cycling back, because that bullshit ain't gonna do nothing but cycle you back in a loop. Again, assimilation for the simulation. I'm going to put a picture up here so that you can fully understand Group 7 and what Group 7 actually is. They are identifying you guys who probably have a little higher version of spirituality, and they're going to start dumbing you down. They're literally going to start dumbing you down. They may start censoring you out, because now they're trying to identify who's who. Remember, the real ones already been removed. We was removed back in 2018, 2019, 2020. We was getting removed. I done had 8 pages. I had a huge group. A nice little gathering of people that was walking with me because they recognized the true essence of the true teachings that it took for you to have an internal change, not just gathering information and learning shit just for the sake of learning it so that you can pop your collar and say, I know that, I know that. Okay, but do you embody it? Can you walk it out? When them tests come, can you identify them tests and transcend that shit? A lot of y'all can't. I can tell by the stuff that y'all like and the stuff that y'all follow. And again, let me say this for the record too. This is not me pointing fingers, picking at, chastising nobody, because I understand what this shit is. I understand that there's a version for the masses. Just like in that Bible, when I broke that Bible down and I was telling people, so many people follow the Bible, but there's 2 versions. It's literally telling you Bible is 2 books. It's literally telling you there is a version that is exoteric. There's an exoteric version that's meant for the masses that keeps them looping in cycles. This is why they can sit up in church and follow the same pastor for 20 years and never have true transformation. If you having true transformation 9 times out of 10, no, 10 times out of 10, if you doing the right work, you going to transcend religion. You're going to come up out that book. That's what it's meant for. It's 2 books, 2 paths. And what you seeing on TikTok, what you seeing on all social media that has now been monetized is the esoteric version of spirituality. It's not going to help you transcend. It's not going to help you transform into the new creation that you need to become in order to ascend up out of the mind matrix. Because you have to have a mindset change. A lot of y'all just have, like I said, the watered down version where you think that you can remain the same, just wear a new title. But even the Bible that y'all follow tell you, you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. There has to be a complete transformation. And I have not seen nobody, like I said, there's some spiritual people on there. It sound good, it feel good, but that is the equivalent of when you was back in religion, when you saw the mega churches that was packed out all the time, and the pastor up there walking across the stage and everybody hollering and preach it, pastor. It's the same shit on TikTok that I see. All them likes, that stuff that they be teaching y'all, all that is feel good, ego stuff. Make you feel good, tickle your damn ears. And when you leave church, you say, damn, pastor preached a good message. And then you go right back to your vomit. You go right back to being the line-stealing, manipulative person that you was before you came to church. And this is what you're seeing here. It's just another version. You just on another level of the deception. And the matrix deception goes deep. And it has ways to filter you out and identify you. If you do not get away from all of these different boxes and all these different titles that the matrix seeks to put you in for identification purposes, you're always going to be trapped up. When I tell you, for my personal growth, right, I had to transcend through Christianity, Hebrew Israelism, African spirituality, Ifa. I had to go through all of that. It was a lot more. Buddhism, I had to go through a lot of them to realize nothing, even your ancestors, y'all out there, I know y'all probably gonna try to come for me, but listen, I understand what that is, so you don't have to come for me and try to fight me. If that's what you resonate with, that's what you resonate with. But I'm here to tell you that after a certain amount of years, you're gonna come about that too. You're going to come up out of that too. I'm not here to press you and force you to complete a process that your soul requires you to go through in order for you to get to the next lesson. But it's going to come a time when you're going to be like, you're going to put the ancestor stuff down too. You're going to put that down. No disrespect, but you are your ancestors, right? Your ancestors looped right back around the way you gonna loop right back around if you don't let everything go. In order to get out of here, you let everything go, and you realize that there is nothing that you need outside yourself. You don't need to be bowing down, giving reverence to. You don't need to be worshiping. You don't need to be doing none of that to nobody outside of self. If you think that there's a God up in heaven that is coming down on you and making choices and decisions for you, that's a process. And if you keep going, if you keep seeking, if you keep asking for truth and keep asking to not be deceived, eventually you'll come into the knowledge of the truth, that there is nothing outside of yourself. You can call it prime creator, you can call it the universe, you can call it the most high. It is still you, because you are a divine spark of that essence. Okay, so with that being said, all I want to say is, when you see group 7 and you want to feel like you chosen, it's just another level of deception from the chosen one. See, now everybody the chosen one, now they're gonna have to separate that group. Okay, so now amongst the chosen ones, you in group 7 of the chosen ones. Stop it. But only if it resonates with you, because like I said, I'm not here to pick on nobody. That's a process a lot of people gonna have to go through. It is milk. It is milk for the babies, for the sheep, for the people who still feel like they need to be led, they need to be chosen, they need to feel special. I'm here to tell you, if you're a real one, that's not your shit. When you see it, you immediately know. Don't you know, you ain't finna put me in shit. You're not finna put me in no group. You're not finna give me no title. You're not finna put me in no nationality, because all of those are matrix constructs. There are boxes that y'all put, that they put the sheep in to identify you easily. Okay? And once they can identify you, then they figure out ways how to break you down and how to control you and manipulate you. As long as they can't pin you down, as long as they can't tell you who you are, they can't manipulate you. Do you understand that? Okay, so stop jumping on all them bandwagons. I've been saying the same thing for years. Stop jumping on bandwagons. Sit back and observe from an observer perspective, but fly above everything. Do not jump in no boxes. Do not assign yourself to no groups. Do not let them assign you to no group. No. Okay? Peace and love.